at city schools in New York, D.C., and Chicago.
Wow.
This is the second year they're doing it in New York, and they're just starting it in D.C. and Chicago this year. And it's not even every marking period or every year. It's every 5 weeks.
Jeez.
How successful is it so far since they've already done it a year and they're starting it up in other cities?
They're not really revealing any success rates yet because it's only in its second year. I think it's at the end of this year is when they're going to start looking at those statistics.
Because I was about to say, why would they open it? Why would they expand it to other cities if they're not revealing how well it's done in New York City?
Who knows? I don't know. But $50 for an A,
That's ridiculous.
$35 for a B, $20 for a C.
Now, does it matter what class you're in?
Whoa,
Is this like $50 for an A in gym?
I believe it's just for math, English, social studies, science, and gym.
And gym.
And gym. Yeah, those 5.
Wow.
So, let me get this straight. They get money for doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
And I mean, I could maybe understand, maybe like a very, very, very small part of me understand getting money for like an A, but they're getting money like $24 for a C. Is that what you said?
$20 for a C.
What?
$20 for a C.
And $5 for an F.
Yeah, right?
But,
no, actually, if they get an F, I believe that disqualifies them from getting any money at all that pay period. If they fail one of those classes, they don't get the money for any of the others.
They actually have to pay the state $50 if they get an F.
Yeah, right?
now, that would be an incentive to work hard.
It would.
Because you know that money's going nowhere if that's the case.
That'd be a good way to increase the tax flow. Is every time your kid gets a bad grade, you have to pay the state.
Yeah. Good luck passing that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that sounds absolutely horrendous. And I mean, again, I'd have to. It sounds too bad to be true, so I really need to read it. I guess like that. Just it sounds so.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Yeah, it's just
ridiculous. Why? Who? Harvard. The guy works at Harvard.
Yes, look him up, Roland Fryer.
And he thought of doing this.
Yes.
I mean, I guess if it's his money and if it's not coming out of anyone else's pocket, or like people who, I just don't, it boggles my mind. I can't even really talk.
I don't know.
I said, as long
I wonder how effective this would be if you gave offered kids we'll give you a bling or a new pair of jeans every time let's see just how shallow we can make people
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Our incentive when I was in high school was if you got bad grades you can't do soccer anymore, you can't be in band, you can't
my incentive was that
if
I got bad grades, I have to go home and listen to my mom bitch at me.
Oh yeah, that too. That was the biggest incentive.
I know.
I mean,
my incentive was leave me alone, Mom.
Yeah, exactly. Because I got in trouble once with grades, and I was never in trouble again.
Yeah.
Just because of the stuff my mother put me through.
Yeah.
But no, it's amazing what we've gotten down to as a society that we have to pay, that they're paying some students. And they're not even focusing it on one city right now. They're branching it out to other cities.
Are they paying only problem students the money, or is it everybody?
I believe it's everybody. I know they're focusing on areas that are poorer, that aren't very economically well off, because they feel the money would be a greater incentive for those kids.
Yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, a straight A student, that's $4,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I think, I don't know, that just...
Something about it rubs you wrong.
What's that?
But then again, I'm also kind of what's a scholarship, really?
Exactly.
A scholarship is just giving people money for having good grades, so...
But that's different. That's acceptable.
I think that's different. Yeah.
That's what?
That's more acceptable. I mean,
Why?
Because you're competing for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
You know, you're competing with other students. This is, I mean, are we talking cash or are we talking credits? Like,
Oh no, cash.
Cash.
Cash. Now, I've also heard that they only get half of the money at the time, like at that 5-week marking period, and then they get the rest when they graduate.
Why 5 weeks?
I have no idea.
How many weeks are in the school period?
40.
40 weeks. And we're talking about, you're talking about, now you're not talking about like actual like tests. You're talking about your quarterly grade? Or no, you're not even talking about quarterly.
Your average. Your average in the class.
So if your average stays an A, every 5 weeks you get like $25.
You get $50 for an A.
Well, no, you said you get half. You get half of it.
Well, yeah, you get half of it at the time.
Okay. So
It'd be one thing if they were like, I guess, like putting $50 towards your college.
yeah, I could see that.
Because like if you give a 15-year-old, like if at 15 years old, if you give me $25, that's going right into the video game store.
Exactly.
You know? Like immediately.
Video game store, or like I don't know what the kids like their cell phones nowadays.
Yeah, the cell phones or whatever. Yeah.
You know, like I guess I don't know. Like I'd have to really, I guess, read into it because it doesn't make sense to me that
it seems like you're giving kids money. You need to teach them how to
save.
Yeah, and be responsible with their money.
Open up a 401k.
I know, the way you teach. Sir, like open up an IRA for them or something. You know, teach them how to invest it. But it's just
I mean that's what's really going to help them is if they understand how to keep their money, how to save their money and invest their money wisely.
Did they have to pay taxes on it?
I'm honestly not sure on that one. I'd have to research that.
But, no, that's. I could see them like if there's got to be they can't just be giving cash. It should be like what Charles just said, like opening up an IRA for them,
or a college like fund.
Yeah, something like that. Like that would make more sense to me. That you know, but just to give them cash, like Charles said, if you gave me $25,
the thing that makes me nuts is that like you give them money for getting you give them money for getting a C.
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
Exactly.
Well, some students are very thrilled to get a C.
Oh, that's true. I mean, there's some students that it's really hard, you know, to get even a C plus, you know. Yeah. But at the same time,
I don't know. I mean,
at the same time, you shouldn't be rewarding them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess that's an old school mentality of. I
don't know.
It's too bad. I think this is PC gone awry to even to suggest giving someone money for getting a B.
Yeah.
Let alone a C.
Yeah.
If you get a B, you're getting cash for getting a B. Like that's insane because it's rewarding mediocrity, you know. Yep. And I'm not saying I was definitely not a straight A student.
Me neither.
But I know well enough that I shouldn't have gotten paid for it.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, I just
people don't have their balls busted enough these days.
I guess,
or at least the younger generation need their balls busted more.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They need more Crystal Libowitz, not putting up with crap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. I laid down the law in my classes last week. It was very exciting.
Did you? Oh, what did you do?
I did. Oh, I just set up a very clear system that if I have to talk to them once, it's a warning, and their only warning. If I have to talk to them again, they get a 9 or 10 page packet for homework that counts toward their grade, and it has to be handed in the next day.
Nice.
Yeah.
If I have to talk to them a third time, they get a phone call or a letter home, and I ask their parents or guardians if there's some condition they have that I should know about that keeps them from keeping their mouths shut.
Did you actually say that to the parent? That would be so badass. You actually called up, "Hi, I'm here to talk about Timmy. I just want to know, is he retarded or something? Because he can't seem to shut up in my class."
Why are you failing?
Well, that is how I worded it to the kids. Of course, I would have a much more tactful approach when speaking with the parents.
Yeah.
And the fourth time, if I
is there something wrong with his brain, or maybe it's his mouth?
And I actually brought a stack of administrative referrals into my classroom.
Wait.
And told them if I have to speak to them a fourth time, then I put their name at the top of a referral right then and there, and the rest of it gets filled out later, and they can go talk to one of the assistant principals about whatever their issue is.
Yeah.
So.
I found out we had my assistant principal in my high school used to be was illegally kicking out students who got pregnant.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, like I guess when students got pregnant, he would he would tell them they weren't like allowed to come back to the school, which I guess is illegal.